Hello and welcome to Louise Singleton Creations. In today's video I will be trying out a fabulous set of pigment drops kindly sent to me from etterart.com. I've seen other artists achieve amazing effects with these pigment drops, and so I was so pleased when Stephanie Etter sent these to me. So let's try them out and see how it goes. When I opened up my box of pigments, I found this fabulous menu. I think of it as a menu, or you might call it like a recipe sheet. There's all the different colour ideas on there, and it tells you how many drops of each pigment to add to your resin to make the colour you want. So I think that's really good to get all those different colours just by getting 6 bottles. That saves a lot of space in my pigment drawer. And the funny thing is, I've been waiting until I had a resin project to do before I could show you these pigments. I was sent them ages ago and I just didn't get the opportunity. But then I realised you can actually use them in eco resin, so I've missed a lot of opportunities with these. So that will be another video coming up. Right, let's get on with it then. Today I'm making 2 coasters, and to make those 2 coasters I needed 240 millilitres of resin. So I've got that mixed up. It's Let's Resin's epoxy resin, just the regular one, not the fast cure one. It might appear to be a little bit green. It's not. It's the staining on my silicone jug. So yeah, ignore the colour that you can see at the moment. So anyway, I'm separating some of my resin out into 4 cups. I've got 2 cups filled up to 50 millilitres and 2 cups filled up to 40 millilitres. And the last of the clear resin is just going to stay in the large jug, ready for later on. I'm going to be using 2 main colours today. I decided on coffee and petrol, and I thought they might go really nice together. So those are my 2 main colours, and I will be using white as well. So all I needed to do was follow the instructions on the list. It tells you exactly how many drops of each colour you need to make your final colour. And of course, this is just a list of example colours I have here. The world is your oyster, really. You can play around with them as much as you like to try and make different combinations to see what colours you can come up with. Just make sure you take note of what you did so that you know next time you want to make that exact same colour. The droppers on the bottles work really well, so you can very accurately just squeeze out 1 drop at a time. So I said a moment ago that there were 2 cups filled with 40 millilitres of resin, and there will be, but actually I put them both into 1 cup. So on that middle cup there's 80 millilitres because I want 2 cups of 40 with white in, so I thought I might as well mix it all at the same time. So there's 80 millilitres there. I think I added 10 drops of the white pigment, mixed it up and then separated it back into 2 cups. Right, here's the mould I'm using today. It's from Moulds and Shapes, and I love this one. Can't actually remember what it's called at the moment, but I will put a link to it in the video description. With the rich colours I chose for the coasters today, I was kind of going for a geode style. I wanted it to look quite organic and natural, and I thought this shape of coaster would work really well. I think they do look quite natural, don't they? And so yeah, I've got my petrol colour here, and I'm just going around the edge. I'm going to use the same colours for both coasters, but I'm doing it in the opposite order. So for this one, I'm doing the coffee colour around the edge. And then I filled both of them up with the alternate colour. And in case you're new to resin art, the reason I'm adding white here is because the resin with white pigment in it is much denser and heavier, and it will sink through the first layer of resin, which is just like a transparent one. And so, yeah, that heavier resin on the top creates some interesting effects. And the thing with resin art is it's all about trial and error. You won't ever get exactly what you're planning on getting, especially not the first time. It has a mind of its own in a way, and each day things come out differently. It's all to do with the temperature of the resin, you know, how thick it is, what brand of resin you're using. It can also depend on the amount of pigment that you've put in there. So when you come to demold your resin pieces, it's always going to be a surprise. I think the key thing is to not be afraid and just be brave and go for it and see what happens. There will be failures and there will be successes, and that's what makes it exciting. So the last step for these super simple coasters is to pour in the leftover clear resin. I'm doing it very gently and it's quite low down as well. I don't want to create too much of a hole in the middle. So if you did it from high up, it would drop down very heavily and create quite a big hole in the middle, and I didn't want that. That's why I'm keeping it close to the coaster. As a final finishing touch, I took some of my glass glitter flakes from Laura's Art Corner. I would highly recommend you pay Laura's Art Corner a visit. I will leave a link in the video description. She has such a range of supplies which will be perfect for your resin art. And then once all of that was applied, all I had to do was wait, and I will put you on a quick time lapse so you get some idea of just how much movement there was after I left it. And the next day they were ready to come out of the mould. Let's have a look to see how they turned out. So this is the one that was mostly brown. Look at that. Isn't that great? I love it. This one's my favourite, I think. I mean, the other one, you'll see in a minute, the colours stand out more. But I do love the brown and the petrol colour together there. They look so pretty. And yes, very organic looking, which is what I was hoping for. There is a bit of a white splodge on the side. But other than that, yeah, I wouldn't change a thing on that one. Let's have a look at the second one. So there we go, that one's much brighter, and yeah, it's very, very eye-catching, and you can see the detail of the sinking white a lot better with that one, but I prefer the colours, you know, the way the colours are on the other one. But yeah, both gorgeous, and they both go together so well. They just need a little finishing touch, which is coming up right now. I decided I wanted to just emphasise the edges of these cascade coasters a little bit. I thought it would really give a nice finishing touch. So I took my gold chrome marker from Let's Resin and I very carefully just went along the edge of each level. You've got to be very careful so that your pen, you know, my pen did slip a few times and I had to just wipe off where I slipped, but if you're very careful, you'll get a very fine line just on each edge. And let's go to the finished one and see how it looks. So there we go. I think it looked lovely without the gold pen, but I do prefer it with that little bit of a finishing touch. It does add something, I think. So yeah, I'm very happy. Let's have a look at them both together. And there they are. Aren't those colours beautiful? I'm so impressed with the pigment drops from Etter Art, and I will put a link to those in the video description. Well, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to, and I will see you again next time. Thank you for watching and bye for now.